يعني بعد تحية لحضرتك
After
وللمشاهدين
greeting to you and the dear viewers, it means that the main goal of the Israeli offensive is overshadowed by
متمثلة في
the Israelis to cover it regarding its claims,
الاستمرار أو الحماس أو الاقتطاع
either
غزة
targeting the Hamas movement and its leaders, and these claims and lies went down. This is systematic offensive targeting the infrastructures and hindering the mobility of the residents, which is very dangerous. That
ترحيل جماعي
covers the Israeli plans of the collective displacement and the deportation of the residents. And we're talking about the hospitals and another massacres that took place in Lebanon, and the whole world is staying still.
Speaking of the collective displacement, with Israel expanding its occupation zone in southern Gaza to include the entirety of the Palestinian city of Rafah, can this be considered a prelude to the partition of the Gaza Strip and the reduction of its territory?
يعني بالطبع كان للمحكمة
Certainly,
العدل الدولية لها قرار
for the ICD issued a very important resolution stated that the Gaza Strip is occupied following 2005. Israel is violating all the international resolutions and even the attempt of
بشكل كامل
with this regard, and by occupying the third of the Gaza Strip,
نسلم الضفة إلى السلطة الفلسطينية حتى
even through the statements of the Israeli officials that will stay in the Gaza Strip and that is having in a population intensivity is targeted of a direct offensive added to the new corridor in parallel with Philadelphia that was established following the unilateral withdrawal in 2005. Such Israeli plans intending to make it alive isn't ready for viability, and this could be ultimately is an enforcement deportation following the massacres and dividing the strip to corridor and small enclaves.
So, Israel has stated that it will not stop its military operations in the Gaza Strip until all the detainees are released. And on the other hand, Hamas holds its position still and says that it will not release any detainees unless Israel follows the guidelines of the ceasefire. In light of these two positions, what are the chances of reaching a ceasefire once again?
I think after Netanyahu's failure of achieving the war goals and the ultimate goals, I'm losing the
Now, Dr. Ahmed, why does Israel insist on continuing its war in the Gaza Strip and intensifying the airstrikes in the past few days?
I think it is it's Netanyahu's own interest, along with its allies, but this is jeopardizing the detainees. That Netanyahu failed to release him by force or through negotiations, but he's trying, as always, hindering the deals that proved that's the only solution to offer the release of the detainees. I think these policies shows a very great outrage inside, following the Qatar Gate scandal by Netanyahu assistant receiving money in order to leak for the media false information and distorting the facts and establishing lies. These internal pressures within the Israelis and trying to make Netanyahu to denunciate the deals, even though if he continues spreading lies.
Now, with hostilities raging once again in the entirety of Gaza and the severe aggravation of the humanitarian crisis, is there any hope for the success of Asian efforts to reinstate the ceasefire and the detainee exchange deal?
It is taken into consideration that the Israeli economy is strapped throughout the past year and a half. The recovery of the tourism started new strikes into Yemen and the southern of Lebanon that would cripple the fragile economy and spreading the non-trust of the leadership that failed of the return to the south and north and the south of Israel. That is making it very possible to crystallize a new vision to force Netanyahu and its extremist government to abide to return of the ceasefire, particularly following it that the resistance keep the capabilities on controlling the strip.